So is it possible that the Chicago Bears just found a cheat code? A lot of guys are really funny in the comments posting that you can't wait until Harry Potter comes out of the doorway underneath these steps. It's not happening today. But today in this video, I want to talk about performance against scrambling quarterbacks. And that's a big problem for any team, but it's specifically a weakness that's been talked about in the past for defenses, particularly the New Orleans Saints under the watch of Dennis Allen. Now, the Bears have a potential solution for this, and I want to talk about Ruben Hyppolite. This is one of my favorite players out of this draft. I think he's so underrated, and his skill set is something that I think Dennis Allen might have had in mind. If you watch Football Drive, you watch how excited he was when the Bears targeted Hyppolite and drafted him to be a part of his defense. So let me go through some names here. We're talking about J.J. McCarthy, Dak Prescott, Geno Smith, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Jordan Love. What do these guys all have in common? They all have excellent mobility, and they're going to force the Bears defense to play each and every one of them because these are the guys that the Chicago Bears defense is going to be facing. Now, I don't think that he's going to be the number one or number two linebacker on this team. Man, he might not even be number three, but I think he's very likely going to be a bit of a specialist, and he's been balling out in camp. He was one of the players that really impressed coaches during OTAs and minicamp, and I can't wait to see him in training camp very soon. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, and he could be the insurance against scrambling quarterbacks, that the Chicago Bears, they just really need when looking at the history of Dennis Allen's defenses, like an ideal spy linebacker to limit scrambling quarterbacks. This is something that could be really unique to provide to this defense. You're looking at a guy who his main quality is speed and aggressiveness. The guy ran a 40-yard dash at Maryland's Pro Day, clocked by some at 4.39 seconds, and others in the low 4.4s. I mean, a huge advantage on any defense, particularly at the linebacker spot, is if basically your player can run faster than the quarterback can, and that is Ruben Hyppolite. So I think a really good role for the Bears to consider for him. I mean, he's probably going to have to play on special teams. He might not be a starter immediately unless someone gets injured. It's just to not sit the bench for this player like a lot of day 3 draft picks do. It's just he can provide something really exciting here. With speed more often associated with wide receivers, running backs, and cornerbacks rather than linebackers, and that's Ruben Hyppolite. So we're talking during OTAs and minicamp. He really said that he only really gave a glimpse as far as what he could do on the field. Let's hear straight from him. I mean, obviously, I have it. It's all about understanding the tempo and how to use it and when to use it, when to not. I've been able to gauge that over these 6-7 weeks we've been here. It's been a great adjustment period for me. Now it's time to go full speed. And that's really the big reason, once again, that the Bears could really use a specialist to spy on quarterbacks. The number of mobile quarterbacks that are not only in the NFL, but are on the Bears slate. I mean, you could even say that Aaron Rodgers is sneaky as a scrambler, maybe less so. But, man, this is a pretty imposing slate for the Bears defense from the quarterback perspective. And you're looking at facing the top 3 rushing quarterbacks from last year: Daniels, Jackson, and Hurts. Now, let's kind of look back on Dennis Allen's defenses at times, right? And this was brought to light by Sports Illustrated. Their coverage on the Chicago Bears is absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to be taking some stats and kind of some takes from that article here. I can link to it in the comments, but kind of looking at this, You're looking at Allen's defenses getting burned by, remember Tyson Bagent in 2023, not exactly known to be a scrambler, but he did a lot of damage with his legs. And a lot of that can be attributed that Dennis Allen's defenses with the New Orleans Saints were a little old in the tooth, right? Some of their top players had become old. You're looking at edge Cameron Jordan. You're looking at Demario Davis at linebacker, defensive back, the Honey Badger. He was in his 30s too. So it's a problem for any defense as well that plays man to man. More on that in just a minute. But if you have a defense that plays man to man, right, with a rushing quarterback, these big gains to scramblers happen quite often because the cornerbacks, sometimes the safeties, they end up having their backs to the line of scrimmage because they're in man coverage. So that kind of opens a gap. So it makes it absolutely necessary, in my opinion, to have someone to work as a spy. And I absolutely love Ruben Hyppolite's ability, like his potential to be that for the Chicago Bears. So the Bears, as far as facing mobile quarterbacks, it hasn't been a huge problem because Matt Eberflus and guys before him ran really heavy zone coverage, right? That was predominantly a zone coverage. You've got Vic Fangio, Chuck Pagano, Sean Desai. All defensive coordinators are under Matt Eberflus or John Fox, still heavily zone. And we're looking at Fangio as well. He wasn't really a blitzer. I mean, but you watch the Super Bowl in Philadelphia, he rushed 4 and beat the Chiefs pass blockers anyways. Guys, this is a necessary thing. So the scheme that Allen has been putting in is heavily man to man. Players said they love this chance too because they get to go head to head with the other team, but it's going to be an adjustment here for not only the players, but also, this scheme that's being put in place. Thankfully, not a complete turnover in personnel. It's still a 4-3, but the emphasis is going to be on man-to-man. It's going to be emphasized to be very aggressive. You're not going to be watching Bears games anymore thinking at the end of the game, why in the heck are we in prevent? That's not going to happen anymore. So I think if the linebacker can run faster than the quarterback, that's the best way to prevent big plays from Daniels, for example. Just absolutely spy him out and play it that way. So we're kind of looking at some spots up for grabs. I think the other spot up for grabs is definitely the strong side linebacker position. Jack Sanborn was there. He's in Dallas now with Coach Flus. And kind of we're looking at, it's probably going to be Ruben Hyppolite, right? I mean, who else is on the team? Another interesting thing was brought up that Kyler Gordon, he could possibly see the majorities of snaps if a Sam linebacker doesn't emerge. Like if Ruben Hyppolite is not what I'm thinking that he is, you could look at a versatile Kyler Gordon doing that. Kind of looking here, Gordon saw 740 snaps last year, 69.1 of all defensive snaps in 2024, and he could absolutely be a player that can attack downhill and be really suited to see the majority of the snaps in lieu of a Sam linebacker. It's just something that his versatility, I think, makes that possible kind of within this defense. He could also drop back at safety. Absolutely love the Kyler Gordon extension here. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And it could be kind of like a jack of all trades too for this player, for Hyppolite. I mean, he could spy, he could fill in as the Sam, he could bounce around the field with his speed. I just really, really like this pick. I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler year one. Take it easy with the comments. But I think just a guy that you can use in a really shallow draft, bring him on your team, absolutely elite speed at linebacker, and see if he can provide a wrinkle for the defense that Dennis Allen maybe has been looking for. He's fully aware that his defenses with New Orleans were susceptible against running quarterbacks, and I think that's why he was so excited to bring Ruben in. I can't wait to see him in camp, and it's awesome doing this channel. If you haven't already, please definitely subscribe, trying to push towards 10,000 subscribers. This has just been a great family here. Bear down, you guys. I'll continue to be here on the Daily with Chicago Bears News, and we'll talk later. See ya.